Oh, bonjour mes amis de Parisian, bienvenue à la ville Lumière. In this video we will show you how to play Paris la Cité de la Lumière and its expansion, Paris Eiffel. Paris la Cité de la Lumière is a game designed by José Antonio Abascal with art by Oriol Hernández for 2 players that last around 30 minutes. The game takes us to 1889 for the Universal Exposition in Paris, where both locals and visitors were amazed by the gas street lights that bathed with light the entire city. And you will take the role of one of the most important personalities in Paris, building buildings and making sure that all of them are bathed with light, okay? All with the objective to steal the heart of the Parisians. So let's check what's inside those boxes, and then we will show you how to make the setup and how to play Paris la Cité de la Lumière. Okay, so inside the box of Paris la Cité de la Lumière, you will find first the rules in different languages, as always. You have the main board in the same box, so perfect for traveling and to save space. It includes also 12 postcards, okay, with the actions for the second phase of the game. We will explain that later. 12 buildings and 10 pieces, special pieces that correspond to some of the postcard actions, okay, like those here and some of them here. And then you have 2 equal sets, one for each player, that includes the cobblestone tiles, the action tokens, and 7 chimneys in orange and in blue. So that's what is included in Paris la Cité de la Lumière. But what's in the box of Paris Eiffel in the expansion? Well, you will find 8 new postcards, okay, those here, with their elements and also a scorepad, okay? Obviously, the rules. And that's what you will find in those boxes, okay? Let's see how to make everything ready to start playing. Okay, so for the setup, first of all, place the board at the center of the playing zone, and around the board, place 8 of the action postcards. It doesn't matter which postcards you place here. You can even combine some of the expansion with ones in the regular box. That's totally up to you. But we recommend to choose those with the star, okay, here in the center, for your first game, because they are the easier ones, okay? Then place at one side all the buildings, and finally both players take their material. The 7 chimneys, the 4 action tokens, and then the cobblestone tiles, shuffling them, and each player draws 1. And now everything's ready to start playing. Paris la Cité de la Lumière is played over 2 different phases, okay? In the first phase, players will alternate turns by carrying on one of the 2 available actions, okay? First, you can take one of the building pieces and save it in your area for the second phase, or you can place the cobblestone tile on your hand on the board, okay? On an empty space, obviously. And it has to be placed in one of the squares. Okay, you can see the limitation of the squares with those tiny white stars here, and you can place it in the orientation that you prefer, okay? Okay, so as we were saying, you can choose between those 2 actions, and then it's the other player's turn that will do the same, and you will continue that way until both players has placed all their cobblestone tiles. That's the time to move to the second phase. So after the first phase, you will have the board more or less like that, okay? And in the second phase, where we'll move now, starting with the player that has placed the cobblestone tiles first, okay? Players will continue alternating turns and taking 2 actions, choosing between 2 actions, okay? The first action will be place the building on the board, okay, but respecting that the building has to cover just the cobblestone tiles of your color or the mix-up one, the purple one, okay? So you cannot cover your opponent's color or the streetlight lamps, okay? Once you have placed the building, just put a chimney on top of it to show that you are the owner of that building. And the other action that you can perform is to choose one of the postcards action and place the token, the action token here, and then it's up to you to choose if you want to use the action or not, okay? But once you have placed the token here, it makes that postcard unavailable for the rest of the games, okay? So as we were saying, you will choose between those two actions, and then it's your opponent's turn that will do the same, okay? Let's say that we place a building, place a chimney, and now I'm going to take an action, and you follow that way until both players has used their action tokens, all of them. That means that is the end of the game, and you start to check the final score. So now it's time to check for the final score, okay? Players will score for different things, okay? First of all, you will receive points for every illuminated building. So that means you have to multiply the size of the building by the number of streetlights that cast light upon it. One streetlight can illuminate two buildings, okay? So for example, that one is illuminating that one and that one here, okay? And let's take an example, okay? That one is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces per one streetlight. It's 4 points for that building. And you check that for all your buildings. Second, and you can use it if you want, if you have the expansion, it makes it easier to follow all what grants you points, okay? We have the illuminated buildings. Second, you have to check for the largest group of buildings that you own, okay? That means buildings that are in direct contact, following a straight line, So that one is also here, okay? In case of the orange player, will be those here, but that one is not in direct contact, so it won't count for the group, okay? So the orange, for example, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 points for the largest group of buildings. Third, you have to discount 3 victory points for every unused building that you have in your reserve and you haven't placed in the board. And finally, check for the points that may give you the action cards. Okay, so by adding all those results, you will have the final score. In case of tie, the player with more empty cobblestone spaces of their own color will be the winner. But at the end, the player with more points will be the one who stole the heart of the Parisians and will be the winner of the game. Okay, so it seems that we still have some remaining time in the video, so we will use it to explain you the postcards that comes with the expansion, Paris Eiffel, okay? We already shown you the notepad, okay? Very useful for the final scoring. But now, let's check all the 8 action postcards, okay? First of all, we have Le Musée du Louvre, okay? As you can see here. If you use that action, just place the Mona Lisa in one of your buildings, okay? And at the end of the game, you will receive 1 point for each empty space around your building, okay? So 1, 2, 1 in direct contact. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case. Okay. The next one is Le Quartier Pauvre. Okay, that one here. That action card will give you points depending on the number of edges of the board that your buildings are touching. Okay, so that card will give you 1, 2, 4, or 8 points, depending if your buildings are touching 1, 2, 3, or all the edges of the board. Okay, in this case, the orange, for example, is touching 2, so it will give that player 2 points. Then we have the Arc of Triumph, l'Arc de Triomphe, okay? If you use that postcard, you can place the Arc of Triomphe in the board, but just the towers of the Arc of Triomphe must be placed in cobblestone of your color. Okay, it doesn't matter what happened with the one in the center. So if we are the blue one, we can put it here. Okay, and that building would count as a building, but it will count at the end of the game for the size of the largest group. Okay, so you will win, and you will win 3 extra spaces. Okay, the one in the middle also counts, but that here in the center can be used for your rival to build or anything. Okay, we can remove that one. We have also l'Obélisque de Luxor. Okay, if you use that one, just place it in a cobblestone of your color. Okay, and at the end of the game, both players will get 3 points for each building that is placed in the orthogonal line that comes from the obelisk. Okay, so in this case, you follow that one and that one. The blue player will win 6 points and the orange just 3. We can check now the Catacombs de Paris. Okay, if you take that action card, just place the skull in a cobblestone color of your opponent. Okay, of your opponent's color. So if we are the blue one, let's place it here. And at the end of the game, you will check if your rival has built any building here. Let's say that the orange places a building here. Just leave the skull up here. Okay, and at the end of the game, nothing will happen to the orange player, but you will receive half of the value of that building. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 per one lamp. It's 4 points. You will, the owner of the catacombs, will receive 2 points. Okay, half of the value. Then we can check also Notre Dame de Paris. Okay, if you take that one, just place a gargoyle in one of your opponent's building. Let's say that one, for example. If we are the blue player, just put it here. And again, nothing will happen to your opponent, but at the end of the game, you can count that building as part of your buildings to check the largest size of buildings that you own. Okay, so you will add all that. Then we have also l'Hôtel des Invalides. Okay, it's just one tile, but consider it as a building. Okay, just place it in a place. Just, well, you can put the chimney if you want. And it will give you the regular points and count for the seas. But at the end of the game, it will give you also 1 point for each space that separates it from the closest edge of the game, eye of the board, sorry. So in this case, the closest one are those two, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 spaces, so you will win 3 points. And finally, you have the star, you have La Tour Eiffel, okay, with that beautiful postcard. When you're going to use the Tour Eiffel, just place it in the intersection of 4 cobblestone tiles, and at least one has to be a light street. Okay, that light street from now on will score as a double light street. Okay, so for example, let's say that the orange has chosen that one, that building 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces per one. Well, it has a second one here. Okay, but let's imagine that that one is not a light street. Okay, 4 per 1 is 4, but that one counts as the double one, so it will be 4 per 2 is 8 points. If we add that one, is 4 per 3. Okay. Also, players will score points for the cobblestones that are under the Tour Eiffel. Okay, you will score 2 extra points for each cobblestone that is under the Tour Eiffel, and the space under the Tour Eiffel is considered built, so you cannot place anything here. And those are the action postcards that are included in l'expansion Paris Eiffel. And well, that's Paris, la Cité de la Lumière, at the end. A strategic game for 2 players that really penalizes your bad decisions, and with a beautiful, beautiful art. We hope you enjoyed the game, and see you in the next video. Bye.